these two hands today. Put a love, memories and laughs in all that I create.
Do you know a little girl who loves the movie Frozen? Sew her a reversible cape. Begin by cutting a piece of blue costume satin, a piece of maroon costume satin, and a piece of shimmery white organza to 38 by 27 inches. I'm choosing to have the non-shiny side of my maroon satin be the outside. Place the two satins right sides together and pin. When sewing with light fabrics like satin, it's best to use a Microtex sharp needle. Sew the long sides and bottom with a 1/2 inch seam, stopping about 3 inches from the top short edge. Trim the corners and turn right side out. Now we'll make the casing that will hold the elastic at the neck. This will make it easy for the child to put on and remove the cape by themselves. Cut a piece of blue satin and a piece of maroon satin to 8 by 3 inches. Place right sides together and sew the long sides with a 1/4 inch seam. Turn right side out. Tuck one end of the tube between the cape layers, leaving about 1/2 inch of excess cape fabric at top. Fold in the raw edges on the side of the cape and pin the tube in place. Stitch along the side of the cape, tacking down the tube with stitches at the top and bottom. Leave a 1/2 inch hole in the center of the tube so you can thread the elastic through later. Use maroon thread up top and blue in the bobbin.
Don't feel afraid to innovate. Don't miss a chance to be creative. Don't. Try this at home. Try this at home.
Now we need to make the casing on the cape itself. Top stitch the width of the cape, aligning the row of stitches with the bottom of the tube piece. Next we'll sew the organza layer, which will go over the blue Elsa cape. Double fold the raw edges of the sides and bottom and sew with a 1/4 inch seam. You can leave the top edge unsewn. Layer the organza on top of the blue satin. Fold in the raw edges of all 3 fabric layers, aligning them evenly at top. Pin and sew with an 1/8 inch seam. Finally, we will make the cowl piece that will go on the maroon Anna cape. Fold a 27 by 16 inch piece of maroon satin in half lengthwise. Place a plate along the fold, then trace the curve with a piece of chalk. Fold the fabric in half widthwise so that both short ends of the rectangle are layered. Pin together and cut around the curve. Unfold the fabric and cut down the center. Pin pom-pom trim to the right side of one cowl piece. The pom-poms should point inward. Make sure your pins extend outward for easy removal while sewing. Add the trim along the curves and the long bottom piece, but not around the top. Layer the other cowl piece face down on the first. Pin together. Sew around the edge with a 1/4 inch seam, leaving a 4 inch opening for turning along the top. Turn right side out. Fold in the raw edges of the hole. Top stitch shut with an 1/8 inch seam, then continue top stitching all the way around. Lay the cowl piece on top of the maroon cape. Line up the top edge. Pin together. Sew with a 1/4 inch seam with maroon thread up top and blue in your bobbin. Lastly, we need to add the elastic. Clip a safety pin to the end of elastic that is a 1/2 inch wide. Thread it through the tube piece and cape casing. Pull together until it's a good size for your child. You want it to be loose enough that they can easily pull it over their head, but not loose enough to slide down their shoulders. Join the elastic with a zigzag stitch, backstitching for durability. Finally, slide the loose end of the tube into the side of the cape. Fold in the raw edges, then top stitch with an 1/8 inch seam. Continue top stitching around the sides and bottom of the cape. Little girls will love pretending to be their favorite Disney characters. For more DIY projects, check out Style Hall's YouTube Partnership Network. For hundreds more crafting and sewing tutorials, please visit my website, madebymarzipan.com.
Try this at home.